Yan, mathematician. Wherein we also introduced to us the decimal number system and fraction. Okay, so siya din yun. Yung mga basic numbers natin, siya din yung nag-introduce. Another proponent natin is Binet. So si Jacqueline Marie Binet, siya yung nag-aral ng Fibonacci numbers to create this formula. Okay, si formula, hindi natin ina-memorize ha. Ibibigay ko yan during the exam. Ipopost, isunod ko na lang sa board. Okay, so paano mo ginagamit ito? To locate the number in the sequence. Example. Sige, ilocate nyo or find the 9th term using your calculator and following the formula. May calculator kayo. Magdala kayo ng calculator sa exam. Pwede namang mamira. Marami doon. Di ba ko talaga?
Ako? Ako.
Kasi nakita ko sa kabila eh.
Nawala si Bill. Nawala si Bill.
Oh, anong 9th term? If we are going to count, may kaya sa Fibonacci. 1, itong first term ha, hindi pwedeng 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 34 dapat yung makuha nyo using the formula. Ito yung formula. Sige, pwede namang cellphone. I-scientific na lang, i-let's. Pero ito, may calculate. Mag-start ka dito. 1 plus square root of 5. Pwede yan. Divide by 2. Tapos, exponent mo, erase mo sa power of 9. So yung n, papunta natin ang 9. Erase mo na sa power of 9. Times 1 over square root. So, 9th term. Yung n, papunta natin ng 9. Pang 9th term. Raise to 9. Kasi 9th term. Kung ano yung nahanap yun yung exponent.
Ano daw?
Ma'am, paano po?
Pag cellphone lang, ayan.
Magpilalagay pa po yung 1 over
Square root of 5.
Ilalagay niyo ba?
Lalagay din. Ito muna. Square root of 5. Kasi pag cellphone, square root of 5 muna times plus 1. Divide by 2.
Wait.
Tapos,
2.11.
kapatid lang.
Ay, alam siya.
I-erase mo sa power of 9.
Erase mo. Times 9.
Raise to 9?
Yan, yan. 1.00.
I-times sa 1 over square root of 5. Alam niyo na pa mga cellphone, di ba?
Times.
So, pag may cellphone kayo, mag-decimal po tayo.
Opo.
Baka kasi hindi na makuha yung square root of 5.
1
Plus 1.
divide
So, ito.
square root of.
Bakit mahaba? Para makuha natin yung exact.
Okay,
Kapag
okay.
hindi scientific yung ano nyo.
0.44. Ayun.
Times mo dun sa nakuha mo kanina. Bakit 34 sa akin?
Times
34. Dapat 33 po. Sulat mo.
Miss, lagi po nilalaw.
I-round up sa whole number.
34. 30.
Ayan, madali yung...
34.13. 34.13.
Pwede rin yung 34 din pag sa
Ma'am,
So, ang difference niya, decimal lang. Pero dapat whole number.
dapat 33 daw.
O, try nyo naman 14th term. Pang 14.
33.99.
Yan, 77.
Pag 34, tama.
Opo, 34 po.
300.
77.
Madali pag may scientific. Try nyo nga.
Dapat dapat kukunin ko yung scientific eh.
O, sa example, sa Monday na kayo mga. Pwede naman manghiram basta before mo. Wala exams, meron na kayo talaga. Meron na kayo. Pwede din naman sa stats. Midterm. Tsaka may nag-release naman na yung pangalos.
Hanggang final school.
Third year, first term.
Hanggang final school.
1 plus square root of.
Wala na ako. Wala na. Ang muling one nila lang OM, no?
Raised to
MM
the
din. Third year pa.
56. Ah, okay. Tapos, 0.2.
Hindi na naman ka rin OM, so 16 lang kayo. Yung kabila na po ba sa
Puro varsity po ata yun.
Grabe. Hindi na sila nagtuloy lang ako. Mamukha po kanya yung merge na ulit. Kasi 36 lang ako. Huwag naman. May isa na yung
Oo nga. Kaya,
nakuha niya, 14th term ay, sa likod nakuha na 377. Longitude.
ay, babae pala siya.
Ay, dapat 300. Dapat maayos. Hindi nga. Pero scientific to.
Meron niya cellphone mo?
Meron nga itong cellphone ko pero di ko gagamitin ito sa tama para kung ako'y nakasyabo at ako'y pahanga. Ay, ito yung bars na hindi mo malaman yung timing. Para bang ako'y nakikipag-usap sa naintin. Di naman ako chinito, medyo kabado. Kaya lahat sila'y nasa lababo, naghuhugas ng kamay habang ako'y nagtatayong sasabihin ni ma'am.
Mag-i-start ka lang sa
Yes, okay. Hirap ko mo.
Hirap sa mouse. Ang importante
Drop ang bit eh. Bars kasi. Mag-drop ka.
sa ulit, kapag ang value nyo walang fraction, dito lang kayo mag-start. Sa taas, divide, base, tapos
Close pa rin.
makukuha nyo pa rin yung tapos. Okay? Okay tayo sa formula. Okay, so yun lang ang topic na to. Let's move on to Fibonacci patterns. Your activity will be about patterns and observation. No? Okay, pansinin niyo yung 3 or third term. So 2, 8, at saka 34. Third term, 6 term, 9 term. 2, 8, 34. Anong sabi niyo sa 2, 8, and 34? Ano? Anong classic number yun? Even?
Even.
Yes, tama.
Even.
What else? Ano pa ba sabi niyo sa 2, 8, and 34? Hindi siya prime. Ito lang ang prime dyan. Aba, nasa na mga heart marker? O, ano yung 2, 8, 34? Bukod sa even numbers siya. 2, 8, at saka 34.
28.34.
Tama na sa even. O, tama yun. Isang observation. What else?
Tama po sa akin. Divisible daw by 2.
Yes, divisible by 2. Tama. Kapag ka lang ng divisibility. O, lahat pwedeng i-divide sa 2. Ibig sabihin ng divisibility, di ba? Multiples of 2. Lahat sila, multiples of 2. Pwede i-multiply. Or yung skip counting natin by 2, lahat dadaanan. So, another one. Fourth term, 3. 8th term, 21. At saka yung 12th term, 144. Anong idea? Same nung una. Divisible by 3, multiples of 10. Pag yung 5th term, 5. 10th term, 55. And yung susunod, divisible by 5, multiples of 5. So, ano yung pinapakita ng pattern? Ibig sabihin, yan. The Fibonacci shows that every n term is a multiple of x something. Ibig sabihin, makikita natin yung multiples, yung divisibility rule, pasok din sa Fibonacci. Multiples. And even add an even number. When you add two odd numbers, 1 plus 1, 2, even, equals even. Add as an even number, add ulit. So, yung mga basic numbers, nakuha sa Fibonacci. Yun. Kasi nga si Leonardo o Pisa is into basic numbers like decimal, fraction. And ito yung pinakamagandang numbers na nakuha na na-develop siya. Okay, so yan lang yung ibig sabihin ng patterns. And there are many patterns. Later, may video ako ipapanood. And then, 2 videos
Medyo na. Ay, di kita si ma'am. Zoom ko
Pero
pa.
meron pang another insight about pattern dun sa video. Okay? Last pattern, Fibonacci spiral. How is Fibonacci spiral made? If you're going to draw it in graphing paper or yung nag-grade kayo ng grid, no, tapos nasa loob yung 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, pwede nyo pang ituloy, paikot. And then, we draw circular arcs from 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, palabas. Then, we can create a perfect spiral. Kaya po yung mga flowers, yung sunflower, yung pine cone, lahat ng may spiral in nature, ay naka-anchor sa Fibonacci. Kasi nga, naka-anchor din siya dun sa numbers in Fibonacci. So that is how the perfect spiral was made. Kung meron kayong mga spiral na hagdan sa bahay, pansinin niyo yung pagkakagawa. Perfect ba yung spiral? So ibig sabihin, ginamitan din niyo ng Fibonacci. Galing din yun doon. Okay, so ganun siya nagawa. And here are some examples ng Fibonacci. Bigyan kayo ng papel sa elements ng slides. Kahit inilalagay sa course 0, ay mo sila ng
May ball pen.
slides. Makikita niyo rin yung slides ko doon. Gusto niya, ganyan lang tingnan. At may pangalan. Yun ang bilhin, hindi pa talaga yung pangalan. Diba? Bawal yun. Pwede lang yung pero hindi ko pa na-oosas eh. Sabi ni Miss Nika, kung madedetect kung saan, sino, kasi yung dati, na-detect kung sino yung mga nagtatapos. Huwag naman kayo magbenta ng stars. Pinipigay lang namin sa inyo. Okay, so these are other examples ng spiral. Even our ears are examples ng Fibonacci spiral. Pero share, yan. Mga gulay, prutas, nahugis, and hurricane. Yan. Kung may bagyo kayo, baka walang pasok bukas. No, plants, eto, computer generated. Nung pandemic, merong isang Fibonacci app na downloadable. So, tumigil na yung pag-upgrade sa kanya. So, hindi na namin nagamit. Pinagamit ko yan sa IT. Sila yung nag-create ng iba't ibang itsura ng spirals using the software. Okay, so let's watch a short video. 2 videos to. Yung isa, kay Arthur Benjamin. So, meron pa tayong panibagong info na makuha doon. And yung isa, courtship of property. Kung paano nandito ang isda. Tingnan natin.
Fish.
Fish. Aba na fish na.
Ano ko nalagay ko sa Facebook.
So why do we learn mathematics? Essentially for 3 reasons. Calculation, application, and last, and unfortunately least in terms of the time we give it, inspiration. Mathematics is the science of patterns, and we study it to learn how to think logically, critically, and creatively. But too much of the mathematics that we learn in school is not effectively motivated. And when our students ask, why are we learning this? And they often hear that they'll need it in an upcoming math class or on a future test. But wouldn't it be great if every once in a while we did mathematics simply because it was fun or beautiful or because it excited the mind? Now I know many people have not had the opportunity to see how this can happen. So let me give you a quick example with my favorite collection of numbers, the Fibonacci numbers. Yeah, I already have Fibonacci fans here, that's great. Now these numbers can be appreciated in many different ways. From the standpoint of calculation, they're as easy to understand as 1 plus 1, which is 2. Then 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and so on. Indeed, the person we call Fibonacci was actually named Leonardo of Pisa, and these numbers appear in his book, Liber Abaci, which taught the Western world the methods of arithmetic that we use today. In terms of applications, Fibonacci numbers appear in nature surprisingly often. The number of petals on a flower is typically a Fibonacci number, or the number of spirals on a sunflower or a pineapple tends to be a Fibonacci number as well. In fact, there are many more applications of Fibonacci numbers, but what I find most inspirational about them are the beautiful number patterns they display. Let me show you one of my favorites. Suppose you like to square numbers, and frankly, who doesn't? Let's look at the squares of the first few Fibonacci numbers, okay? So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, and so on. All right, now, it's no surprise that when you add consecutive Fibonacci numbers, you get the next Fibonacci number, right? That's how they're created. But you wouldn't expect anything special to happen when you add the squares together. But check this out. 1 plus 1 gives us 2, and 1 plus 4 gives us 5. And 4 plus 9 is 13, 9 plus 25 is 34, and yes, the pattern continues. In fact, here's another one. Suppose you wanted to look at adding up the squares of the first few Fibonacci numbers. Let's see what we get there. So 1 plus 4 is 6. Add 9 to that, we get 15. Add 25, we get 40. Add 64, we get 104. Now look at those numbers. Those are not Fibonacci numbers, but if you look at them closely, you'll see the Fibonacci numbers buried inside of them. You see it? I'll show it to you. 6 is 2 times 3, 15 is 3 times 5, 40 is 5 times 8, 2, 3, 5, 8. Who do we appreciate? Fibonacci, of course. Now, as much fun as it is to discover these patterns, it's even more satisfying to understand why they are true. Let's look at that last equation. Why should the squares of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 add up to 8 times 13? I'll show you by drawing a simple picture. All right, we'll start with a 1 by 1 square, and next to that put another 1 by 1 square. Together they form a 1 by 2 rectangle. Beneath that, I'll put a 2 by 2 square, and next to that, a 3 by 3 square. Beneath that, a 5 by 5 square, and then an 8 by 8 square, creating one giant rectangle, right? Now let me ask you a simple question. What is the area of the rectangle? Well, on the one hand, it's the sum of the areas of the squares inside it, right? Just as we created it. It's 1 squared plus 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 5 squared plus 8 squared, right? That's the area. On the other hand, because it's a rectangle, the area is equal to its height times its base. And the height is clearly 8, and the base is 5 plus 8, which is the next Fibonacci number, 13. Right? So the area is also 8 times 13. Since we've correctly calculated the area 2 different ways, they have to be the same number. And that's why the squares of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 add up to 8 times 13. Now, if we continue this process, we'll generate rectangles of the form 13 by 21, 21 by 34, and so on. Now check this out. If you divide 13 by 8, you get 1.625. And if you divide the larger number by the smaller number, then these ratios get closer and closer to about 1.618, known to many people as the golden ratio, a number which has fascinated mathematicians, scientists, and artists for centuries. Now, I show all this to you because, like so much of mathematics, there's a beautiful side to it, and I fear does not get enough attention in our schools. We spend lots of time learning about calculation, but let's not forget about application, including perhaps the most important application of all, learning how to think. If I could summarize this in one sentence, it would be this. Mathematics is not just solving for X, it's also figuring out why. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anong additional information? Yung area, okay. Hindi lang basta sa spiral yung drawing ng area. Yung golden rectangle, ang tawag din ng golden rectangle. So, ibig sabihin, yung area niya, galing din talaga dito sa Fibonacci sequence natin pag in-square. Ano pang additional doon? The golden ratio. If you divide all the numbers in Fibonacci sequence, papunta sa dulo, flat na yung value. Lahat ng ratio, equal na lang sa 1.618. And that's the golden ratio. At si Fibonacci lang ang meron mo. Okay, yung 1.618, makikita niyo din dun sa formula, paano Paano mo makikita? Okay, 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. Tapos i-raise sa power of n. Itong part na to, pag kinompute nyo, is equivalent to 1.618033. And that's the golden ratio. Ibig sabihin, nakapaloob din siya dun sa formula ng Fibonacci. May yung Binet's formula. Okay, so yun yung bago. Ano pong use ng golden ratio? This is used for photography. Bukod sa rule of thirds ng MMA natin, or kung alam nyo yun, meron yata sa phone yun, yung grade. Meron din pong golden ratio. Kung saan yung subject nyo or yung medium, yun yung gitna ng spiral. So, pwede nyo rin gamitin yun kung medyo mahilig kayo sa photography, di ba? Mahilig kayo mag-selfie, di ba? So, mahilig din kayong mag-take ng mga scenery sa pinunguntahan nyo. Then, might as well magamit yung golden ratio for aesthetic purposes. Basically, yung Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio are for aesthetic purpose. Lahat ng beautiful, yung maganda sa mata natin, makapanood sa kanila. That is also why yung PT1 nyo, pwede nyo i-anchor kung mag-paint kayo or mag-drawing sa Fibonacci. Okay, so later na lang yung PT, last video natin. Okay, this one, excerpt siya sa Netflix, BBC Earth, a life story episode 5. Hindi ko lang alam kung existing siya sa Netflix until now. So, excerpt, part lang siya, isang episode. So, this is about the courtship of copperfish. And natin paano ni Loris the
Parang alam mo yung fish lang.
This small Japanese pufferfish is dull almost to the point of invisibility. But a cockatiel, he's probably nature's greatest artist. To grab a female's attention, he creates something that almost defies belief.
Yung nata yung nag-graduate siya.
Kumain?
Nag-drawing siya sa sand.
Ay, hindi.
Nag-drawing.
His only tools,
Misa yun po ba yung ano? Narayon din sa dyan din?
Parang, hindi.
3D po ba yan? 3D?
Hindi na siya ng video. Ay, hindi na sa pagkakilihan sa kinuha na under this.
Ano po tayo?
Ano siya eh, episodes.
Okay. Hindi. May galing.
he plows the sand, breaking it up into the finest of particles. These shells aren't just rubbish to be removed. He's to decorate the bridges of his construction.
Okay lang. Meron po. Dalawin na lang. Understandable. Hindi na makikita.
He can't resolve what the moment, but must work 24 hours a day for a week, or the current will destroy his creation. A final tidy up, and his masterpiece is complete.
1 week niya yun. Hindi
So, anong masasabi niyo dun sa quartet of power?
Magaling pa.
Bukod sa wow, amazing ha.
Effort.
Effort. Effort na, manligaw. So, parang kayo din naman yan. Diba, nag-effort pa ba? O, text-text na lang. Pero diba, ang liit ng cover page, pero yung creation niya, di naman natin masabi na pumunta pa siya. Or yung perfect circle niya in mind, no? So, ibig sabihin, mas marunong ka. Kung kayo yung mag-artwork at magagawa ng something, di ba? Mas maganda ay sa creation niya. Hindi lang natin inakalang-kaya ng kami. Okay, so yun. And then, marami pa kayong pwede i-reflect kung kaya nga ng isda, mas kaya natin. Pero yun lang, limited lang sila into that work, that kind of work. Siguro nasanay sila nito. Okay, so again, ito ay galing sa Netflix. Yeah, from Netflix video yan. Ipakikita nyo rin sa YouTube. Post ko rin ito sa LMS para mag-shoot. Before mag-exam, lahat ng slides na ginamit natin na post. And pointers for review, Monday pa naman, no? We will start with basic logic, yung equivalent and then or, yung laro natin, game natin ng ano ba? Oo, meron din. Pero algebraic at ang nilo. Wala namang fraction. Ang karalin nyo lang doon yung equivalent and then or. Paano yung kaming pinag-usapan? Para mas mabilis na sa ulan. Alamin mo lang ito ba? And then, sets, operations on sets, kinds of sets. And last, Fibonacci sequence and golden relation. Yan lang yung component ng exam. All multiple choice. Yung formula ibigay ko during na ng exam, hindi naman ako pa-memorize ng formula. Kahit sa stats natin, ibigay ko rin. Tapos,
LMS tayo, Miss Lee.
LMS tayo, kaya magdala kayo ng vlog mo kayo may smartphone. So, pwede na dun mag-exam. Kung gusto yung magdala ng tablet, okay. Yung iPad, okay.
Laptop po.
Laptop, okay. Better. Calculator na, hirap na lang sa calculator. Para hindi kayo nahirapan. Okay, now, let's talk about last na, PT. Sa Monday exam, with that pointers, and then sa Thursday, PT presentation. Your PT, kagaya ng orientation sa orientation class mo ay forms of art. There are 4 choices. Ang first form of art ay painting, drawing. Kung nag-art na kayo, apply nyo yung 2 degree dito na napag-aralan. Kung 40 nyo ang pag-drawing, then you choose that one, form of art. Ano pong topic? Any topic na napag-aralan natin. So kung gusto nyo mag-drawing, ang topic na sense, meron kayo. Bahala kayo pag ito drawing yun. Be creative ha. If you can consult, of course, always consult the net, no? Pero wag naman exactly the same. Bawal pong parok. Kasi sumusuwan ako sa parok na yan. Papaliparin ko lang yan. You think out of the box. Kapag nakakita naman tayo ng something na kaya natin gayahin sa internet, gawin natin ng iba pang ano. Gawin natin ng ibang effect, no? Sa illustration. Kahit hindi illustration, kahit na bond paper na, o paper, or kung gusto nyo mag-paint sa canvas, okay lang. Any medium na, any medium. If you choose the painting, drawing, or any form of art painting, i-represent, i-explain. Brief explanation lang. Short explanation. Another form of art is poem writing, minimum of 3 stanzas. Tula. Okay. Kung gusto yung tumula, then tula. About against chosen topic nyo. Okay. Third, songwriting. Pwede pong Tagalog. To the tune of your favorite music. Pwede po. Kung gusto yung magdala ng instrument, pwede rin. Yung iba nagdala ng gitara. Kasi kakanta. Basta own composition. Okay? Next, ang music ay minimum of 2 minutes. Hindi naman sobrang pa.
Individual po yun.
Individual yan. Sabit tayo mag-grouping sa nakasakay. Ang last ay spoken poetry. Sa spoken poetry, pwede rin Tagalog. Minimum din ng 2 minutes. Yung rubrics ko po. Question, spoken poetry na naka-accord din sa topic na na-discuss lang. Huwag naman general naman. Madali kasi AI yun. Madali kasi sa GPT, di ba? Pag about math, create ako about math. Di ba bibigay kayo ng tula? Ang tanong, gawin niyo namang mukhang kayo yung gumawa. Kumbaga, hindi copy-paste na copy-paste. Pwede twist Sino ba yung boss? Ako nakikilala ka, nabigyan naman ako ng mga ano dyan. Alam na nila mag-AI dyan. Kaya mas gusto ko pwede kasi hindi naman kayo pilitin. Hindi kayo magaling mag-pay. Okay, each of the forms of learning meron po rubric. Propose sa elements para mag-check.
Pwede po Tagalog.
Pwede Tagalog. At least yung Tagalog talagang magaling sa atin.